Industrial wood such as particle board, MDF, medium density fiberboard, HDF, high density fiberboard, and plywood has become an indispensable material in the furniture, construction, and household goods industries due to its versatility, durability, and cost effectiveness. Transforming raw trees from nature into finished industrial wood blocks involves a complex series of steps that blend manual labor with advanced technology. Below is a detailed breakdown of each stage in this process. The journey begins in sustainably managed forests, where trees suitable for industrial wood production are carefully selected. segments, while plywood may use longer slabs.
requires precision to ensure fiber uniformity, which directly impacts the smoothness of the final product. Washing and screening. The resulting chips or fibers are washed with water in an industrial washing system to remove dirt, sand, or residual bark fragments. They are then passed through vibrating screens to sort them by size, discarding oversized or undersized pieces to achieve a consistent material standard. The raw material must be further treated to enhance its binding properties and durability before being pressed into blocks. Drying. The chips or fibers are fed into a rotary dryer or conveyor dryer, where hot air, 100 to 150 degrees Celsius, reduces their moisture content to an optimal range of 2 to 10%. Low moisture levels improve resin efficiency, prevent issues like blistering during pressing. Drying typically takes 20 minutes to an hour, depending on the material type and ambient conditions. Resin mixing. The dried material is transferred to a large mixing machine, where it is sprayed with industrial resins such as urea formaldehyde, UF, phenol formaldehyde, PF, or methylene formaldehyde, MF. The resin accounts for
systems to prevent defects like warping, cracking, or uneven straying. After pressing, the rough wood blocks require additional processing to meet practical use standards. Trimming, the blocks are cut into standard sizes, commonly 1220 x 2440 mm or 1830 x 20